And really what took it really beyond what I expected was the community and
Mm.
how great all the other PDM students, for lack of a better term, are, and what a great resource they are.
Welcome, Will. Thanks for joining us here for this little PDM case study, PyWest Developer Mindset. And today I want to learn from you how you experienced the program and what you got out of it. So to start, tell us a bit about who you are and what's your background.
Well, my name is Will. I am a machine learning engineer. I've been doing that for about 5 years, and I work for a smallish company in the DC area.
Awesome. So where were you in your career when you started PDM, and why did you join?
So I was the 5 years into my career. My background was in math and physics, so no programming experience when I started 5 years ago, really, other than self-taught. And I think I was a pretty solid Python software engineer, but I just didn't know how to put what I knew together, or really didn't really know the value of what I knew. So I started looking. Well, I had found the code challenges through the testing bites, actually. So I was looking at better ways to organize tests, which introduced me to highlights of the code challenges. And then after reading one of the emails about PDM and mulling it over, I thought it would be a good next step for me to really consolidate and really put what I knew to use and get the help that I needed to be able to do that.
Nice. So what were the results you got from the program?
Well, I was still suffer from it some, but a bit of a perfectionist and wanted to make it perfect right from the get-go. And I think honestly, one of the biggest things I got personally out of PDM was getting over that perfectionism and just getting it done. But getting it done still nicely and not messily. Being able to identify where there might be, there might be places for improvement later, but making it very clear that this is a place to improve as opposed to something that will come back to bite you later. Really was nice.
Right.
And I think the second thing would be planning out projects and breaking it down into steps.
Okay.
As opposed to trying to boil the ocean all at once.
Nice. So you shipped actual software, right?
Yeah.
And
close to it. Yeah, that work definitely started shipping, small tools, things like that more. And then with my projects for PDM, they're on the verge of shipping.
Awesome. So your experience in PDM, did it exceed what you had expected when you started?
Yeah, I think so. The feedback I got from you, Bob, was fantastic and very personal to the project I was working on. And you actually spent a lot of time trying to understand what I was working on. And everything I got out of Julian's sessions was just above and beyond sort of what I was looking for when I originally decided to sign up for PDM. And really what took it really beyond what I expected was the community and how great all the other PDM students, for lack of a better term, are, and what a great resource they are. So the community, especially given our sort of isolated COVID-19 times at home, it's nice having a group of like-minded engineers that work on all sorts of different things. Not even all engineers, some people is getting started really early on in their Python career. Having them to talk to, bounce ideas off of has been great.
Yeah, some good synergy going on there, and long-term relationships as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what was your favorite part of the program?
It's a couple things. One was the sort of positive feedback I get from you which according to Julian is not easy to. You do not easily give out praise, which so that meant a lot. So having something that I would trivialize in my head and be like, this is good, was really nice. And then honestly, the sessions were fantastic. I'd have to get up at 7 a.m. for Julian's, and I would. I'm not a morning person, so I really looked forward to those and stuck with them. And I think they were great.
So you gained both from the coding as well as the mindset with Julian, right?
Yeah, it was a nice combination where like it balances out the like could be a better software engineer, learn more Python, ship more code, and then not go insane doing it. Don't turn yourself into a robot to achieve that.
Nice.
Sort of like a really like a fun group therapy session, I suppose, like with Julian's one. But it's just nice. It's nice to have a place to talk about just kind of anything, as it pertains to your career and things like that.
So maybe you already touched upon it before, but what was the aha moment where you realized like the PDM and its approach, could work for you? Like this is how things are different, and this is how it can really shape my career as a developer. What was that moment?
Yeah, so it was, I'd say about halfway, 2/3 of the way through, where I was just kind of wrapping up the work I was going to do on the first project. And at work, I was writing small tools to get things done or wrapping things, scripts that another coworker had written. And I would have previously tried to rewrite his work or fussed over how it looked to write that little script. But instead, I just got it done, and I got it done more quickly than I normally would have. So that was the aha moment where I realized, at least in that instance, and it's still an ongoing battle. Don't get me wrong. Having that happen where I just got it done, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good for now, and I'm happy with it. It was great. I actually like the dopamine hit of getting it done as opposed to fine tuning every little nitpicky thing. I was like, oh, this feels good to say it's done. So
awesome.
That was definitely it. Yeah.
Getting stuff done, dropping perfectionism, and not overthinking things, right?
Yeah. I'd say, thinking about them just in just the right amount.
Yeah, it's a common problem, that perfectionism, and you have to get something out there to actually get feedback and actually understand the problem you're solving. Often,
absolutely. And I through a lot of my career, and even now to some degree, I'm working by myself, and so I don't have users using my code until much later, things like that. So it's hard to get in my own personal kind of career situation. It's hard to get that like immediate feedback with like a code review or things like that. So that was nice. That definitely helped.
Cool. Did you see any impact on your life, or what would have happened if you didn't join PDM?
I think, I wouldn't have this wonderful community. And I think I'd still be very unsure, unconfident in everything I know about Python, because I've been able to share a lot of what I know and even teach you a few new things, Bob. So I think I'd be less confident. I'd still be fighting my perfectionism more than I am now. I wouldn't really know how it feels to be shipping, even if they're small things. It's like making progress. Got it. What is it that Reese said? There's only one way to eat the elephant, a bite at a time. I think, and I wouldn't have been exposed to all the new sort of technologies, even though they're not really new, but ORMs, interacting with APIs, the web. That's really not my world most of the time in my day-to-day work. I'm crunching numbers, large arrays of arrays of numbers, all sorts of linear algebra. So it was nice to be exposed. So I think I'd still be I wouldn't have as broad a my experience wouldn't be as broad as it is now, and I wouldn't have this great community, and I'd be far less confident in what I know.
Nice. Happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So, if you could tell someone that is on the fence about PDM, or is maybe even inside PDM right now and it's not getting the momentum, what would be one piece of advice that you would give them?
I think definitely make time for your projects and take advantage of the fact that Bob's there to give you feedback, good or bad, good or bad. It's not really good or bad. It's just feedback that you can learn from that you wouldn't get otherwise. So definitely take advantage of that. Just try things, and then make Bob work. But definitely take advantage of the fact that you have this person. You have two coaches basically. Make use of their time. They're happy to do it. And if you have other questions, or like work-related, interpersonal work-related issues or things that you're concerned, that you just want to talk out, reach out to Julian for a one-on-one. He's happy to do it. So just don't just go to the classes and then, interact with Bob on GitHub, like pull requests and reviews, like talk to him in one-on-one, same with Julian.
Yeah, we have no issues with full inboxes of GitHub notifications because that means you're coding, right? And
exactly.
There's definitely a relation between what you put in is what you get out. So keep that volume up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So PDM works, but you have to put in the effort, basically, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to share before we wrap it up? Final shout out or anything in particular?
I think proudest moment is getting Reese to use a class, and I'm fine mentioning him because I saw him on the PDM testimonials page, so you can see him there. So getting him to use a class and then exposing everyone to typing is definitely getting able to do my own lesson during the code clinics was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so those are two big wins because Reese is not that fond of classes, so that takes serious persuasion to get him on a class. And,
I know, and we did it at least once.
And your typo demo was awesome. So that's thanks for that.
I have using it. Hopefully, I can do another one. Being able to share that and then have it be useful to other people was definitely what built my confidence, because I knew a lot, I just didn't really know the value of it or how to piece it together, and that's really one of the big things I got from PDM. So I can't believe it's over in some weeks, but I'm happy to still be part of the iBytes community, and I will not be going anywhere. So you'll be stuck with me.
Yeah, no, ditto. So thank you for sharing all this with us today. And we're really, again, super happy with your results, and it will inspire others. So thanks for that.
My pleasure. And thank you. This was a great experience. Not that it's over yet, but yeah.
Awesome.
PDM was great. And this is my first time doing any sort of code, I don't know if you want to call it boot camp or workshop or coaching or anything like that. This is my first experience with it, and it was great.
Awesome. Thanks.